This final attempt at reopening the landfill is a desperate act by 4 out of 9 men and women who do not constitute a majority of City Council. Nor have these 4 individuals produced any evidence that their decision has the backing of a majority of Greensboro's citizenry. Nevertheless, let me cite 4 examples of desperation, each pertaining to the 4 individuals in question. At the last council meeting, Mayor Knight claimed not to know that Dr. Abdel Nuruddin, then chair of the Human Relations Commission, was reading a resolution by the commission recommending that, quote, City Council not reopen the White Street landfill until there is further study to determine conclusively the health impact on its residents. A week later, at the August meeting of the commission, we were told the mayor knew what was coming because he had denied requests by Dr. Nuruddin and Councilman Key to place the commission on the meeting agenda so the resolution could be read. For me personally, Mayor Knight's lack of candor represents his desperate attempts to silence the commission and turn his back on public health. Councilman Thompson's appearance at last night's meeting of the Concerned Citizens for Environmental and Economic Justice clearly demonstrated his unwillingness to recognize that the savings he claims citizens will enjoy from reopening the landfill are not borne out by the numbers. Furthermore, Mr. Thompson refuses to recognize there is more at stake than money, like public health and mounting evidence that points to people living around or near landfills who are clearly at risk to various diseases. In the end, Mr. Thompson's continued defense of his position in the name of fiscal responsibility is the desperate act of a man who finally came out of his political closet knowing he must answer to all the people of the city as a councilman at large in an election year. Dr. Trudy Wade is so desperate she will cast her vote for a company possibly headed by a relative simply because the interim city attorney says there is no conflict of interest. How many of us would do the same when faced with such ethical choices? Then again, we know how desperate Dr. Wade has been from the start. As a veterinarian, she went on record trashing global warming as junk science, casting aside basic principles about environmental science that many of us teach in grades K through 12 and in higher education. Finally, there is Ms. Rakestraw, who always seems to show her desperation by the incessant shuffling of papers throughout meetings, causing one to wonder if she really is all that engaged in the kind of serious deliberation that the landfill issue requires. So there you have it. 4 components of a single act of political desperation, which I might add, reflects the kind of Tea Party Republican ideology we just saw on the national level and which has left us in such a terrible fix.
Mary Lou Clapp, Leonard Williams, and Vanessa Martin.